Good afternoon. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I wanted to show you my peas. They've started turning a little bit yellow because I let them dry out once, but the roots are still intact, and these are very viable, ready to be planted. I have planted these with the root down and the green facing up, but still give them a good inch of loose dirt on top of them. Give them protection. And if they started peeking out of the soil, I'd cover them at night after the sun went down. The things we do if we wanted to learn how to feed ourselves. And you don't have to pay to go like to a gym to get a little bit of exercise. Here we got our dry beans, which were tender green improved bush. We tried the Kentucky Wonder, and we didn't like the fuzziness and the stringiness of the quality, even though it was kind of a hardy bean. And we decided to go with these. And then we took some and put them in water to soak, and then we poured the water out and let the air get to them. And then after that, we rinse and leave them. And then just before I went to bed, I put just a little bit of water near the bottom. And then this morning, I rinsed them and shook them around. And as you can see, these are ready to be planted. And the weather's getting warmer. And it's possible we might get another vortex that throws 29-degree weather down here. But what we have to do is watch the weather, like people used to do before they were busy with Facebook, and felt the seasons and the weather changing, and they'd automatically do these things. Now, a lot of people just don't know. So what we do is you can plant the beans. If we got rainy weather coming, you can plant them outside in the dirt and water them, and then just let the rain take over and hope for the best. Or what I do is I start them, and then I dig a trench where I want them to grow. These are bush types, so they can be planted in clusters of like four to six beans if you want. And then water them well and leave them alone. Don't water late at night because we still might get really freezing weather. So if they're talking about the weather dropping down below 35, don't water them and cover them up for the night. And they're pretty hardy. Even a light freeze usually won't bother them up in the garden because we have a slope, so usually unless a front moves in and the cold just stays, and you can feel it when it comes because it even comes through the house along the floor. Cover them. Or some people, they start these in pots in their house, but I don't usually. If I've got room, I'll do it, but lately what I do is I just go ahead and pre-start them like this. And you could put them in a pot of dirt inside like a greenhouse, and that would help protect them. But you gotta make sure that at night that all the vents and everything are closed tight. And even then, sometimes it helps to, if you have a milk jug or whatever, and they're not very tall yet, cover each potted plant with a milk jug or whatever, or put it out in the garden like that. So everything's useful. Get creative. And the next thing I wanted to tell you about was if you're prepping, we found this stuffing on sale for 25 cents a box because whole wheat stuffing just doesn't sell as much as regular stuffing. So what we did is we bought these for 25 cents a piece, and they weren't due to expire for at least a year. They're getting close to expiration now, but we went ahead and made one the other day, and I added these store-bought croutons that I got on sale. I didn't pay that much for it. I usually do that, or I break up my own extra breadcrumbs, mix it together. This came with its own seasoning, so I was surprised at how tasty it was. And since I had pork juice from my crock pot from my meat, I used that instead of a lot of chicken bouillon with salt. And I even used a pinch of the salty bouillon, but not enough to really fill out the flavor. And then I stir-fried some celery and onions, like it shows in the serving suggestion, and tossed it all together with a 1/4 stick of butter. And there was nothing left. This stuffing went like gangbusters. But of course, I didn't tell them what the expiration date was. So we need to use this up, or at the very worst, we know the birds will enjoy it. Or it could be composted for 25 cents, but since we ate some and it was delicious, I think I'm going to make another box. And when I was outside today, enjoying the spring flowers, they're all coming up at different times because some are in shade, more shade than others. So as the weeks progress, we have some that already are actually almost done now, and some that are still opening up. So, and we used a handy glass jar that used to have mushrooms in it. But, you know, I'd rather drink out of a jar like that, washed, instead of a plastic cup. So, yeah, save the whales, drink out of a mushroom glass. Have a good day.